Hello everyone, this is Rakesh Rana and I'm really happy, glad that I have been invited by the FitQ founder Apurva Nayak to come live on this page and give you some insights, learning and how to actually manage your mid-level career in the current economy as well as the post-COVID scenario. And while we are talking about the mid-level, let me just define you mid-level for everybody who is present or who is going to see the recording of this. And the first and foremost that we need to understand that anybody who is getting into more than 5 years of experience is the mid-level professional. And why is it different than any other thing? Let me tell you this. When you are just searching for a job as a fresher, you have a lot of freedom in terms of where do you want to go, right? You want to explore the entire world, isn't it? And when you get into the mid-level, that is after 4 5 years of experience, what you are getting is a tag, a tag of experience of something very unique. It could be sales, marketing, finance, operations, HR, whatever field that you have gone into. Let's say after 5 years you uh, venture into an MBA and then you realize that okay, now I can switch the field. After 5 years, possible. But if you say that after 10 years also I'll be able to change the field, let me tell you that it would be really difficult. Okay. So when I talk about the mid-level, I can definitely say that anybody beyond 5 to 7 years of experience are people who are the mid-level employees, and those professionals will find it really difficult. And one of the sharing that I have had from a lot of people who are in my community as a mid-career professionals, I have realized that they are neither the freshers nor they are the decision makers. That means they are stuck in the middle. And when you are stuck in the middle, you are somebody who would ultimately end up being a victim of getting laid off, a victim of getting the pay cut, victim of not getting promoted, victim of probably no salaries at all, isn't it? And while I hear a lot of such news from my own community of 1,000 plus professionals, I also realize that during the COVID, this situation has actually worsened. That means that all the companies who are trying to retain the people, they are finding it difficult to retain, and not only retain, they are also finding it difficult to pay them on a regular basis. Let's say talk about the big companies where the corporate, right, they are also going for the 10% salary cut to the 20% salary cut. To some extent I have heard about the 50% salary cut as well. Now how do you actually tackle all these situations when you know that there is an uncertainty in the current climate, current economy, and we all know that given the lockdown situation that we are in, especially in India, for last 45 days or so, we are going to face a lot of other consequences of that, and those consequences always will be on the economy. And when you look at the economy prior to COVID 19, we were not doing so good as an economy as well. But now, post COVID, it has worsened, and all the rating agencies and everybody is kind of now jumping into downgrading India as an economy, right? That the growth level of India will not be that great. Now, how do you actually survive, sustain, and actually strive in such an economy? And especially in the mid level, because I'm very passionate about that. And let me introduce myself. My name is Rakesh Rana. I'm carrying more than 18 years of corporate experience, and last 2 years I've been a mid-career strategist helping mid-career professionals, leaders and executives to actually match their growth with their full potential. And I'm sure when I talk about the full potential, all of you can realize that all of you have this feeling, which is a very little voice in your mind says, oh, I deserve more. Oh, I know something more than what I am doing actually. I am not in a right job. And all this feeling are simply saying that you are not actually utilizing your potential. And today we will be talking more about the career path of it, especially in the job. Definitely I can talk more on the other path of it, that is to start the business and getting into an entrepreneurship. But today's discussion I'll just limit it to the job and the career that you need to choose and how you need to actually go about, especially post COVID, post lockdown, or whatever current situation that you are facing in your career. And let me start with this and let me define this. Most of the mid level, I have seen that they are becoming functional. What do I mean by that? Well, the functional is a person when he or she is doing a routine job. Okay, a routine job. He's not specializing into something, he's not directly impacting the company's performance, but he is becoming just a part of a function which is then supporting some other functions to get the company's income. Now when you are in the functional role, correct, it is very easy for the company to replace you. For example, let's say you are into finance department. Now in finance there is an account, there is a billing, there is a I would say the preparing the statement and so many other aspects of the finance, right? But let's say you are in a environment where you are amongst the 10 different accounting professionals, right? You do the entries, and let's say you are just running a service management company wherein the company has outsourced this service. Now imagine a scenario when the financing or the finance accounting can be completely automated through the ERP systems or any other automation tools. What happens to your role? Correct? You are more likely to get laid off and you're more likely to get reduced to a different job. But imagine that if you have gone into in the finance where you are becoming a vital to prepare the company's statements, whether this job will be a specialized job or not. And in my opinion, it will be a specialized job. You cannot replace such kind of people who are very hard to get, right? So when I talk about the functionality, please make sure and understand that you are not remaining functional, because before COVID-19, I'm sure all of you must have realized that you were not even looking at yourself upgrading, correct? And none of you have thought about, okay, let me go to this course, let me go to that course, let me go to learn in this and that from Udemy, from let's say online webinar, online courses, free webinars, and so on. It is only forced upon you, then only you realize that, oh my god, entire world is locked down, I have nothing to do, my work from home will give me couple of more hours for me to actually learn and upgrade myself. And now you realize that your job could be in danger, your payment could be in danger, your 30 days survival could be in danger, because most of the mid-level professionals are surviving by the 30 days plan. If you have not seen that, please imagine your life and check that you are surviving by the 30 days plan. And if you are surviving by the 30 days plan and over and above, if you are in a functional role, you are just putting your life, not only your life, but your family's life in big risk. How many of you understand? At least give me some comments. The 4 people who are watching this live, help me understand what is that you are understanding, right? And if you have any questions, please start questioning so that I can reply you guys as well. Okay, so there is another part of this role that is called the vitality. Okay, vitality, what does it mean? The vitality is the role of a person which is vital to the function, department, company, and even the market. Okay, for example, somebody is into the sales who is able to sell this niche products in the market and he has acquired certain unique selling skills. He's really good communicator, he's really good in interpersonal skill, he's really good in actually explaining the product so well, which is so unique and very difficult to sell. Now, will this person be vital for the company? 100%. In that case, can this person lose the job in the current scenario as well? Absolutely not. He might get a pay cut, but he will not lose the job. Okay, so one of the aspects that at the mid level we all need to understand is that slowly and steadily, as the digital economy thrives, as the automation kicks in, as the AI, ML, cloud, and all other technologies are actually replacing the human efforts, we also need to upgrade ourselves to a different level. Now, you say that I am in finance, okay, I'm in sales, okay, I'm in operations. Where does the technology come? Well, the technology will come from every place. All the 7 levers of the business, be it finance, sales, marketing, HR, operations, and innovation, as well as the management, everywhere there is a inroad for the digitalization. When digitization is so essential in the today's world, because to sustain and to remain competitive, this digitization is essential for the company. And if you are not doing that, obviously you are heading towards the shutdown of the company or the loss making company. So when you are in the role, identify 2 or 3 roles ahead of you, that whether the technology spectrum that I am seeing today, will it actually impact me in the future if I am going on this path. Okay, for example, if you are becoming a supply chain buyer, then you have to get into the managerial role, then the general manager role, and maybe a supply chain head. But if you are looking at the automated supply chain in the future in your industry, should you be continuing the traditional role of a supply chain? That is the question you need to ask yourself. And if you're not asking this question today, tomorrow you will become redundant. Okay, that is the reality which we all need to accept. And the second thing which we need to understand when we are looking for the vitality, and when we say the post-COVID scenario where things will be more difficult, some of the people are saying that my company has cut the jobs, that's why I got laid off and I'm searching for the job. But some of the people also came to me saying that my company has actually put the increment on hold, promotions on hold, and I want to leave the job. The third person who came to me saying that my company actually cut the 10% of salary and I want to leave the job. Now, all 3 scenarios are different, right? The person who has been laid off, he definitely needs to search for the job, no options left for him. The person whose promotions and increments are on hold, he should be first thanking to the God that his job is secure and safe in an environment where a lot of other people are losing the job. How many of you agree with that, right? And the third is that when the person is saying that the 10% cut, again the person needs to be grateful about that he is still having the job when a lot of his colleagues, peers, and the other people are losing the job. Now, what are the strategies that all 3 categories can actually use? Okay, the person who is searching for a job, the person who is actually in the job, and the person who is actually having the 10% cut. So let me tell you the simplest option, that the person who is losing the job. Okay, the person who is losing the job, he and she needs to first and foremost start searching for the job. That is very, very obvious option. But how does he search the job? Okay, it could be he or she, so don't mind the gender. Okay, if he is searching for the job, there are a couple of ways that he can do that. First and foremost, he can upgrade himself within that function and make himself a vital option with respect to the technology and the functional skill. When there is a combination of a techno-functional skill, people become vital by default. For example, if you are an accountant, but if you know how to run an ERP system of your company, you become a vital person with accounting skills and SAP skills. Okay, so become a techno functional vital person. Okay, that is a one option. The second option is, let's say you haven't got to a vital role for long time. Let's say you spent almost 10-15 years in the same function in the different industry and jobs, but you couldn't get into a very prominent role, a leadership role or something like that. This is the time for you to actually project yourself to be in that role. Okay, may not be in the similar industry. So for example, let me give you an example of an automotive company. There is an automotive company which are called the OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, and there are tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, correct? Now if you are being laid off from the automotive company OEM, which is more likely to happen with so many engineers, so many workers in the automotive company which is going through rough time, you cannot expect that the other OEM will take you at the higher position. Forget about it. If you get a job in the other OEM, you are lucky. But why not actually tap the tier 1, tier 2 options? Why not go there as a vital person? So for example, if a size of a company like a Maruti, it will have thousands of engineers in every department. But the size of a company of a Maruti vendor or a supplier will not have the thousands of people in engineers and in all the departments. In that case, you get an opportunity to become a vital person for that company owing to your fact that you come with an OEM experience. How many of you realize and understand this? If you understand this, please give me some signal in terms of your comments, in terms of your smiley, likes, or whatever you feel comfortable with, guys. Okay, so first and foremost, you need to search for a job in the similar roles somewhere else, right? You can search for a job in the tier 2, tier 1 companies, but in a vital role. Okay, the third and the most important thing which people are missing in this current economy, and they must actually exercise, is this: they also need to explore the non-core domains. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, if you are in only finance accounting, for example, right? I'm just taking finance because it comes to my mind very easily, or let's say a supply chain function. Okay, and if you are in the supply chain, can you actually go to a small setup or a startup or somewhere in a setting where you can actually go for a non-core operation? If you were in the let's say backward integration of the supply chain, right, the downstream supply chain, then you can actually look at for the upstream supply chain using the same knowledge. There are in the mid-level, you have an advantage that unlike the freshers, you have already acquired a lot of skills in terms of your understanding of industry, your understanding of the various functions within the business, and your understanding of problem solving. Please understand that nobody is an expert to solve the situations in the current scenario. If you come up with the problem solving skills with the non-core industry or within the industry, utilizing your experience, your skills, your expertise of years of experience that you have, you are becoming a vital person for that company. So let me give you an example. Let's say somebody of a OEM kind of a company where they are selling the biggest part, and the vendor of that is not able to sell their parts. Now this person, given their experience of that OEM, he knows in and out about the market. Now he can actually start a different stream of revenue for the vendor or a supplier by selling the spare parts. Now if that person is able to do that, then in that case that person is going to actually earn a lot of respect in the market. That person is also getting into the vitality role that he is eyeing for, and at the same time he is going to get the job. How many of you realize this? Because this is something which nobody thinks about. Everybody just simply say that because I am a domain expert, I must get the job outside in this and that. Now, you will say, Rakesh, how about salary? People will give me less salary. And I have only one argument to that. Is it not better to have a less salary than your normal salary when the circumstances says that you will not get a job for the next 6 to 9 months? Ask yourself this simple question. Is it better to have a food on the table for your family for 6 to 9 months than actually searching a job in your domain because you have this ego saying that no, I need a job only in my domain, only in my location, only in my industry? How will it help you or your family for that matter? Because company won't care for you or your family once they have laid off. But you have to anyway feed your family, isn't it? So if you look at from the holistic perspective, this is one of the best option that you can do. Even you can go and choose the startups. A lot of startups, even though they are now falling behind, they will go on the hiring spree for the simple reason that the talent will be available cheap now. How many of you understand this? Because talent will be available cheap. That means you can definitely get the right talent at a less price. And if you are the one having 10 to 15 years of experience and you realize that you may not be the best fit for the startup because you were very afraid of the risk that you are taking, but let me tell you that that exposure will give you a lot of experience in order to understand the startup ecosystem. And if you are lucky, you may get the ESOPs as well, right? If there are small startups who are trying to bring in more talent in their team, then they may give you the ESOP, and you never know that you got a lottery even during the COVID, right? It is just a mental state that you need to be in, right? Now let's talk about the two different categories. That is where the people who have got the 10% pay cut, or the people who haven't been promoted or didn't get the salary increment. Now for this lot, strategies are very simple. First and foremost, you should practice the gratitude that your job is safe, secure. You should be thankful to the God for everything on this part of it. Now the second part which you need to do, this is the time to prove your experience, expertise and loyalty to the company, even though the company has not done anything which they promised you when they hired you. Okay? Because these are uncertain times. Even company management leaders are grappling with a lot of problems to solve at the top. But if you, in your capacity of the function, if you can take a higher responsibility, if you can come with the good ideas to turn around the business, if you come with the innovations that can help company to save cost or increase the revenue, you will be in the limelight. And it is said that even if you haven't got the promotion or a pay cut for the short period of time, I'm sure once you do this, you will be becoming the vital person in that role. And when you're becoming a vital person in the role, you are actually making yourself eligible for the future increment, future growth. And it is not a bad bargain for you to actually get into a vital position despite you having no increment this year or having a pay cut of 10% for the shorter period of time. I hope you guys are understanding this really, I would say minute but very insightful, profound things which I'm trying to tell you, because the mid-level is going to get under a lot of pressures. A lot of people are going to lose the job. A lot of people are also going to get laid off, and also they are going to get a pay cut, no promotions, no increment kind of situation will be very, very common across India. It's not the one company that your company is special. There are very few companies like Bajaj Auto which will actually honor the no pay cut, right? They will actually use the cash reserve, because no company has prepared the cash reserve to deal with such kind of situations which are uncertain, unanticipated, right? And last thing which I would definitely like to tell each one of you, especially in the mid level when you are in, okay, please don't take your job for granted, or don't take your life for granted as well. What do I mean by that? You might feel that I am insulting you. Not at all. I am very, very serious in my profession, and I really respect the mid-career people who I groom, right? A lot of people are under my coaching system right now who are getting, who are learning a lot of things related to building a career, building their brand, building their, searching for the right career, and also progressing in the career. So a lot of people are already getting through the coaching from my side. So I have very high respect for the mid-level people. But at the same time, I want to be very, very blunt and honest with you. And that is, don't take your life for granted. Okay? That means you have got enormous talent. You are a gifted person. You are unique in your own respect of expertise, skill, experience. The problem with us is we get into the zone of comfort so easily that things are going smoothly. Why should I disturb? Isn't it? And now the situations has come where we are being forced to do something which we are not used to. We are feeling the pain because we have never put ourselves in the pain ever. And because of that, you can imagine that you will feel uncomfortable. Now, if I ask you that why don't you deliberately, intentionally make yourself uncomfortable, how would that be? Because when you deliberately and intentionally make yourself uncomfortable in a situation where you are not going regularly, in that case you will be in a better position to face such situation. And the one of the best way to make yourself uncomfortable is to first upgrade yourself, learn about yourself, that what is that something unique in me which I can also tap into as my potential, and maybe I actually reduce the dependency on a single source income. And as I always say that the mid-level professionals or the mid-career professionals are the 30-day dream. They are always living by the 30 days plan, right? If your paycheck don't come, you are in a big trouble. How many of you understand this, right? And when you are in a big trouble, you are going to take some desperate measures. I have seen people taking the jobs which they are not even thinking about when they were in the job. The reason is desperate situations call for desperate measures. But why to bring the desperate measures right now and wait for those desperate measures or desperate situations? Why not prepare ourselves for that? And the only way you can prepare is continually upgrading in your domain, function, industry, locations, wherever you are. At the same time, look for the avenues which you can do apart from having a movie, going for the party, going for the sports, and spending time with your family, sleeping for long time, watching TV, Netflix, and so on. All these things are going to be there with you for your lifetime. But what is not going to be there is your age with you. Because when you get older, and the more you get older, you're not going to get that many opportunities to learn, and your mind will stop functioning as well to upgrade yourself. So this is the period, the mid-level period, where you can plan for the next 20-25 years well, basis the financial goals that you want to achieve in your life. And if you can plan your 20-25 years well, let me tell you that you will not struggle. You will be able to face many such COVID-19 situations easily in your life. With that, I would like to thank you each and everyone who has joined in this live webinar and the live stream on the Facebook. I would also like to thank FitQ and Apurva to invite me on his platform to actually give this wonderful insights for the mid-level professionals. And I hope all of you have noted while you are watching either live or the recorded stream, that you have noted the points that you need to take as an action point and start taking your life in your hand and grow tremendously post COVID and post lockdown. Thank you very much, guys, and God bless you.